So the theme is intimacy for an avoidant equals pain, hence the word avoidance. They want to avoid the pain. The common behavior patterns and thought patterns are not committing, having a very hard time to commit. And even when they do end up in a relationship, it feels like a ball and chain. They'll feel like they're never quite ready, even though they'll stay in a relationship for years. They also focus on superficial imperfections. They are not smart enough. They are not tall enough. They are not funny enough. They're not good in bed. The list goes on. Again, the whole point of that on a subconscious level is to reduce intimacy and increase their sense of independence. It's also to downplay their partner in an attempt to uplift their sense of self-worth. But they only do that because their sense of self-worth is low. The whole game they play is to give them an easy out so that they can run before getting hurt. Another thing they'll do is longing for an ex or the one. They'll either find themselves thinking in the past about past exes or the future of the one that is just perfect enough to fulfill all these different needs. But we all know that there is not a single human being on this planet that is perfect in all these ways. It's a fantasy. So they think that the perfect partner is just around the corner, or they'll start remembering the good qualities of an ex. But the funny thing is that when they were with the ex, they were miserable and hyper-focused on all these little imperfections. Because the fear of intimacy has been removed, hence why they're an ex, they can now more clearly see their good qualities. They also reminisce about being single, and I've done this quite a lot. The reason being is because being single reminds them of the freedom that they had. But the funny thing about avoidance is that they forget how lonely they were when they were single and how much they actually wanted someone in their life, even though it's at arm's distance. So avoidants are constantly stuck in the past or future, and so it's very hard for them to be present and appreciate the present relationship. Last thing they do is they keep things very foggy and unclear. Again, they do this because they are scared of intimacy and they want an easy escape plan. They also keep things very foggy and unclear because they're very afraid of conflict. Remember, this goes back to childhood, where when they expressed themselves, they were shut down, criticized, invalidated, and so forth. And so they learn to not speak their needs, not talk about what they feel, because they don't want to trigger a painful conflict. But the funny thing is that by avoiding the conflict, they create more conflict. And that is part of their path for healing and growth, is to step into conflict and confront it head on and take initiative. They are also secretive, not expressing feelings and thoughts. We kind of went into that already. Again, it's mostly based on fear of conflict. They also like to keep things open-ended, because if the relationship does not work out, they have an easy escape route. You know, they're never committed anyways. And they'll be very slow, or maybe even never say I love you, even though they may feel that way. The way to tell if an avoidant loves you or not is that they will actually be in a relationship with you for a long time, even though that they have a hard time showing it or saying it. And so as an avoidant, if you repeat all these cycles, you will continue to attract partners that trigger that. And so in order to stop this sort of cycle of pain and suffering, which again comes down to childhood, you have to learn to do the opposite of these actions. You have to learn to open up, take initiative to address issues. You have to let go of the illusion of freedom and independence and start becoming more intimate and trying to understand your partner's needs. And trust me, the anxious attachment has their own bag of junk to work through as well to meet in the middle. But all of this can be done. But all of this can be healed with really hard work, courage, and dedication, and working with the right people. Just a reminder, I'm Brian.
Hi, Brian.
And if you want to work with me directly, make sure to visit my profile and join my email waitlist or DM me. Otherwise, just follow for more content.
Can you give this to the deer, please?
Okay.